Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, the newest Live Love Posh release is here. It is the Junk Journal and Rainbow collections. They are all available now. Code Amy Plans Things will save you 10% on everything except for box sets, bundles, Posh boxes. So if you buy the full box set of these stickers, it's already discounted, so you won't receive a discount on that. But on the individual items, all of that, you will receive discounts. So thank you so much if you choose to use that. Today, we are continuing yesterday's video. If you want to see the full flip through and unboxing, go to yesterday's video because I went through everything there with you. Today, we are going to use it all, and I have something really fun, and it's going to be really long. We might have to split it into 2 videos for today and tomorrow, or it might be one very long video. Depends on how long it takes. Let's see, right now it is 9:30, so I'm keeping track of time to know if we need to pause this or not. Okay, so the plan, we're just gonna move everything aside for a minute. I wanna create a really cool rainbow spread because we have all this rainbow stuff. I have been holding on to this heirloom sized Archer and Olive notebook. It is 8.5 by 11, okay? And it is dot grid. It is beautiful, and I have never used it. It does have the foil on the edges, so we will be cutting through that, but that's okay. Right now, I'm going to use it as just a research and development notebook, but I think ultimately what it might turn into is kind of like a memory keeper where I print out photos of our family and kids and write down a little blurb about what that memory is. And that, since it's full of family photos, is not something that I'd really show many after the pens of. So that's what I'm thinking about for this. But to start, I wanted to create the largest set of Dutch doors I have ever done. And this is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2, at least 14 Dutch doors. So because I'm going to do 1 floral Dutch door and 1 junk journal Dutch door per color. We'll go in rainbow order like this, start with red and work our way out. And the very first Dutch doors are gonna be little. So I need to measure it out to see where I'm starting, and then we'll go from there, okay? So I will be right back, and we have a fun, full plan, and I cannot wait. All right, so I've marked everything out on this page. Everything is gonna have 4 dots in between each line, except the last 2, which will only be 3. That's the way it fits most evenly. And they're not going to be straight lines necessarily, but they are going to kind of follow this as close as we can. So by the way, we have some bookmarks sitting here as normal. Let's just show the rest of this notebook. We've got our large pocket on this, and then that's the back. It's so beautiful. I've just been holding on to this. And this is the perfect spread for it. So we are going to go in a pattern of junk journal, floral, then switch colors, junk journal, and floral. And the reason is because I want to use a rainbow frame on the first one and then have a peek through window of some red florals on the red ones and peek through and so on. So we're going to start with picking some frames that will go together. Now this is a little difficult because none of these are set up for Dutch doors necessarily, so they're all different sizes. So we have to find 2 that will be similar enough in size for cutting it. So actually the ruler might be helpful for this because I don't want to tear everything out. So what we're looking at is the inner frame, how big it is. So this is like just over 1.5 long. Let's see, how long is this one? This one is almost 2, but it might be the closest that we have. I can't use the giant frames. They are too big. So yeah, I think we're gonna use, see, this is the hard part, but oh, this one and this one might be similar. Because you want them to be close enough that they're gonna work. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, let's use these 2. These are pretty close. Those would work. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick this one up and we're gonna actually see which one is smaller. Come on. So to do this, I'm going to flip it upside down if I can get the book to stay open. Yeah, I think I'll use this one. And we're just going to place this down first and then put some junk journal stuff around it. And these first couple of Dutch doors, if I am using this for family, like scrapbook type stuff, these first Dutch doors are just going to be like beautiful little Dutch doors. They won't have any purpose, and that's okay because we are just experimenting with a really huge long spread. Okay, so the things we won't use, we're not going to use this decorative frame. We're not going to use the scrapbook paper today. These ones are great, but they're not really the rainbow. They're just bright junk journal stuff. What I want to use is rainbow icons. Rainbow ephemera is really cute too, but it's bigger ephemera pieces. We're going to leave that alone. But these rainbow icons are the things we need. And every page is doubled, so we will be able to find things that are pretty symmetrical and use them on multiple pages. So what we want to look for on this first red one is ones that are small enough to not go too far past this. Now the frame sticks out, that every frame is going to stick out a little bit. That's just how we're going to do it, but we're going to try to put things in that keep us here. And I'm going to fill this whole part, but I want stickers that I can use to, this one's too big, isn't it? Because we want it to not really go too much past this. Stickers that I can use that are fairly symmetrical so that we can do this. All right, stay open please. And we can use some of the bigger stickers on future ones when we're not trying to keep to this quite as much. Okay, we've got a butterfly and we will put it sideways because of our situation. And we do have multiple pages, so let's take a look. Yeah, we have 3 pages of stickers for each of these. And I think, do we want to layer over them? I've got a question. So these ones are pet stickers with a white ink base. Do these have a white ink base or no? No, they don't. Okay, so these stickers don't, so we can't layer them like that. So I'm just going to do that. The lips are fun, and we will have these ones stick out a little bit because some things will stick out. And the heart is really easy as a Dutch door piece. Let's go this way so it goes in the crack as much as possible. We need a fill right here. Let's do this one, and then we can put the tiny heart bit right up there so that we're like saving as much space as possible. Okay, we are going to move some things. We are not going to use these ones today. If we use washi tape, it's going to be the rainbow ones, so we'll leave those nearby. Just trying to clear as much space for us to work as possible since we've got so many things here. Okay. And you know, this is a little too small for that. We need a larger sticker to go in. How about part of the strawberry? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we are going to make a giant set of Dutch doors. So perhaps this will be one spread, or one video, perhaps we'll get to only about here or so before we pause to wait for tomorrow. We will see. Okay, when we're doing this, we need a cutting mat, and gyro cut is going to be the way to go. I'm going to stick these out of the way too, so I just have a little space. We will be using those though, one at a time. Okay. So we need to use the gyro cut for this outer bit as well as inside the frame. So let's do that too. I'm going to try to go as close to the edge of the frame as possible. And we'll hope our other frame matches up pretty well. We can always trim a little bit too, if needed. There we go. Save that for later. A large sheet like this is great for making your little pockets or journaling cards or things like that. You've got a lot of space here that you can cut and create things out of. Okay, let's pick this up. It is a sticky mat so that it holds it in place while I'm cutting it, but you just have to be careful, especially when you have such little amounts to pick it up. Look at that. That is so cute and tiny. Oh my God. Okay, we are, even though it's so tiny, we are going to create a Dutch door on the back because, I mean, I want to. So let's go for it. Let's see how this one fits. Turn it a little bit to get here. It is hard to put these ones down because they have the hole in the middle. The hole is really useful, though, so that you could use it to write on if you wanted to. But it is hard. Oh, we did not line it up correctly. Okay. I'm trying to get the frame right on the edge. This is very difficult, but it's worth it, I think. Okay, we're going to line this one up. But it's a little too low, so we're going to shift it over there. This should work. All right, it's a little, we have a little bit of white space, but we're just going to go with it. And there'll be nothing on this side of it just because this is a blank sheet. Maybe we'll turn this into an entire rainbow kind of junk journal collage thing. Maybe, we'll see. We'll get there later. We're going to get the Dutch doors themselves done first. I don't know where that one's going yet because I need to put the lipstick in. Okay. Finding lipstick. Okay. We'll trim that in a second. Let's just get everything else. We're just going to go through and find the matching counterpart. Again, these are not totally symmetrical, but they're very close, so they make it easy to do this. Now, this might be the tiniest Dutch door ever. It is completely useless in terms of function, but it's beautiful. And the whole effect will be such a joy. And that's part of it, right? Not everything has a purpose. If it brings you joy, that's enough. Okay, here's the other button. Lips. Here they are. Are they? Is that the same one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Our first Dutch door of 14 pages is done. Next up, we're going to do florals. Florals are a little harder because they aren't perfectly symmetrical. They can be a little bit all over the place. Let's just make space to do this. Okay, we have so much stuff. Okay, put the extra paper down there. We have to pick a red floral to go with it because they have so many different designs in here. Not one of the holiday ones for sure. And then florals are hard, but you can always cut off leaves and things like that to kind of shift things around as needed. I do like the darker florals. Though these ones are really pretty. I think these are the ones we'll do. And as a reminder, we're going to count out because, where'd my pencil go? We're going to just mark how far we want to go. So we went to right about here. So this one is going to go to here. Now, as we get further out, we won't be decorating all the way in. This one might be decorated all the way in still because there's not a lot of functional space there. So it might just be nice to decorate it. Okay, we're just gonna go for it and use this pattern. And if something lines up perfectly for a Dutch door, great. If not, we will do some sticker surgery and make it work, because we do have 2 pages of each of these as well. And like this itself is fairly symmetrical for stuff. We can always trim off leaves and like that little bit and fit it in a different way if needed. So speaking of that one, let's go ahead and get it like this. Layering over the flowers works well because it's the same art style, so it kind of blends it all together. And this is going a little too far though, isn't it? Do I want to do sticker surgery? How far did I... Okay, that part's ripping, so let's just count to here. Yeah, let's do sticker surgery on the leaves and just bring these little leaves off so we don't go too far. Because our future pieces, our future Dutch doors, we don't want to go too far. Okay, so about there, that's where we're lining it up to. And if it goes a little bit in and here and there, that's okay too. All right. Now this one would go out too far again, so let's do it here and trim off these bits right there. All right. That's looking so fun so far. So I don't know how this is all going to work out right now. We're just going for it and playing with it and seeing what happens. Which way do I want to go? This might work pretty well. Let's do it like that. Trim that little one. And then we have a little gap. So, perfect. We have some that are already, along the edge. So we'll just fill it in like that. And then right there again, let's just put one of these little leaves. That's a nice filler. Okay. That looks really fun. Okay, trim. That is number 2. Let's cut it and figure out the back side. Now the hardest one probably is going to be that top corner piece, but I mean, we just play the puzzle game on the back side and make it work. Doing sticker surgery is needed and shifting things around to make it fit. We have lots of florals to work with, and we'll figure it out. And again, since we're so close to the edge, being careful lifting it up off the sticky mat. The sticky mat is so helpful when cutting your Dutch doors, so the edges don't like buckle as you try to cut them. You don't want to like bend your pages by accident, but it is sometimes rather sticky. You can also use your hand or something to like de-stick it a little bit. The oils in your hand help it be a little less sticky. Okay. We had used this one. Let's just see what happens and see how close it is to a fit. I'm not completely upset at what's going on here. It is pretty close, other than this one leaf. So we're going to cut that leaf to there. I'll also use the scissors right like that because I don't want to cut the other page. Okay. I forgot to trim this side. Whoops. Then with that, we can just put it in this way to just fill that little gap and still use that piece. Now where? Scissors. We have so much stuff out, I feel like I'm just gonna keep losing things, but that's okay. Okay, there's that little piece. We could fill it with like a little leaf or something, but we don't need to. All right, now let's see what we can get to fit. We had that one. Let's just see how this one does. You know, that'll do. A little piece here, but again, pretty close. We're just going with it. Okay. So this was the one, they're not symmetrical at all, but we're gonna see what happens when we go like this and bend it this way and see. And again, not completely upset at this. The back side is never perfect, but we can get pretty close. We'll have this gap to fill in a minute. But that's easy. Just grab a little piece from somewhere and all of that. All right, then the last one we grabbed was this one. And this one is not going to be as perfect a fit. Do we want to do it like this and have it way layered over? I don't think so. Okay, let's just spin and see if we can get something to kind of work. And if not, we can grab some other things and try those out. This is the puzzle part where we just figure out what works. Wait, this actually follows that shape pretty well. Let's add a little thing coming up like that, like a leaf, to fill the gap. It's just a leaf, that's okay. And then this would nicely fill this. And right there, something sticking up a little bit. We have these ones, they're different florals, but they might fit more nicely. They're the same color scheme. So we'll do that just to fill that gap really nicely. All right, so our red is done. If I can pick up this little piece that I just cut. Maybe I didn't actually cut it. Come on. There we go. All right, so there's our reds, guys. Look at that. That looks so cool. All right, we are on to the orange, and we went 1, 2, and now 3. This is where we're lining it up. Let's pick our frame first because that's the one that we just really need to fit carefully and think about. So here are oranges, nothing too big yet. Looking at similar sizes, these might be similar sized. Let's measure. It's like right in between. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be pretty close. This one's slightly longer than that one, so let's use this one at the front. It's a little more yellow, but not as yellow as these, so it'll be okay. All right, so since that frame was here, let's put, we're going out to here, let's put this frame here and just go with it. Okay, so we're done with this, so I'm gonna make some space. Start moving things out of the way as we don't need them. All right, to the orange items. This is just so fun, you guys. Okay, so little ephemera stickers like this are so easy for the Dutch doors because they're very symmetrical. So are mixtapes and little tickets and things. So I'm just going to put a couple in. I do want some other interesting items as well. This is very symmetrical, so let's use that. And I do want to make sure that we're filling in any white space that we have. So this would fit nicely. You know, how about a piece of text? Why not? We'll add the word vintage right under the frame. You won't be able to read it all in the Dutch door, but that's okay. All right, the ring is going to be fairly symmetrical as well. Let's put it like that. We will fill that in a minute. That doesn't need to be something that is like Dutch door friendly though. How about the orange slice? That's great. Do it right there. Okay, what are we gonna put here? Looking at the sizes of the stickers and what I might want to do. How about the sleep mask? That'll fill it pretty nicely. Yeah, and then I have a little bit of space here. Do I want to start filling it or not? I haven't decided. We need one thing right here though. Maybe the makeup compact would fit nicely. It's, yeah, okay. Something else tiny? Or maybe not the makeup compact, right, like that. Okay, put that to the side. Tiny, oh, this little makeup compact is smaller, so it might, yeah, that fits better. It's upside down. Don't worry about it. It's just going to be upside down. All right, let's do this. Okay. We will decide in a minute if we're going to decorate all the way to the edge or let it be, because at some point, if I do use this for like family memories and scrapbooking and all that, I will want some space to start doing stuff. Now, this is too thin for actual usable space, but at some point I'm going to have to start leaving a space, so not all of them can be like filled in completely. Right, where did my eraser go to erase that little mark? Oh, I need to cut that out too. So cool. Okay, that's really fun. Let's grab the potential matching frame. It's a little bit bigger, but we're gonna go for it. Again, if we have to trim something, not the end of the world, but you know, okay. The hardest part is laying down the sticker. Okay. I laid it in right to the edge here so that I didn't have this sticking over that edge. So I have a tiny bit of the clear plastic to trim. And I think we're also gonna trim a little bit more of this. Come on. I'm trying to cut you. All right. So then what I might want to do is cut a little bit into the frame to just make it not quite so much white right here. And if a little bit of the yellow frame goes away, like, not the end of the world. All right. Come on. Need to cut harder when it has paper and sticker on it, apparently. There we go. Looks pretty good. Can't really tell. Great. All right. We are going to start grabbing the matching stickers. And this one I'm going to put this way. It'll be upside down, but that's okay. That's how it matches nicely. Just going to grab everything from this page that I can. Okay, then the ring is on another page, so we'll grab that in a minute. But I can place the little flower, and I can grab the makeup compact. I'll just hold it for a minute, and we'll go get the ring, which is here. And again, it's not always perfectly the same, but we can get it pretty close. Super, super cool. Where is our ticket? It is here. And the orange. So you can see how this is all coming along. Like, it's going to be a pretty cool effect when the front of it is all the way down. That's going to be really awesome. Okay. So cool. Okay, so now orange florals. And again, we're going to count it out to make sure we're getting it nicely. And it's every 4 is what I've done. So it's going to go to here. And we can just go ahead and erase these others now. All right, floral time. So we've got our orange flowers. We have to pick a flower set to use. We probably want something pretty bright orange. These were watercolors. I don't want the line art style, although I love them because I want it to kind of match. It doesn't necessarily need to be watercolors, but needs to look a little more realistic than the line art, for instance. Okay. I'm just looking at which ones might be best. You know, the watercolor ones that match, they'll have them in every single one of these sticker books for that color. That might be easiest. And these ones are pretty symmetrical. They're not perfect, but I think we can do some good stuff with them. This one I want to line up to make sure I see floral inside, except it's not big enough. Okay, we're gonna put this one up here instead. Let's get a bigger sticker to fill that if we can. And this one is nice and big. Okay. Just put it like that for a second. Yeah, that'll do. And it's going here. Comes in a little bit there. That's okay. Can I put some tiny little florals right in here just to fill it? Yeah. So not too many flower stickers. Now let's see if we can make it work. We can always cut off some of the stems and move them around to make it fit better. So let's go for that. So cool. Just pulling up the cut page is always so satisfying. Look at that. All right, so we are gonna do our best and see what happens here. This one is kind of the matching one to this, and while it's not the exact same, as you can see, this bit is a little bit different. If we angle it a little bit that way, we're gonna cut off the tiniest bit of flower, and it works pretty well. As always, it's never a perfect fit on the backside with florals, but this is where we let go of our, perfectionist tendencies and just let it do a little bit. So we're gonna do a little sticker surgery here, I can already tell. I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna cut off this one leaf and just turn it so it fits that perfectly. I think that'll work really well. So what we're gonna do is just pick up that little piece of sticker, if we can. Voila. And make it go right in there instead. See, a little bit of sticker surgery. We still have a few little gaps, but not as glaring as that one was. So that'll do. All right, this of course is a very specific little thing. So we're gonna have to fix that up for sure, whatever we do. So let's just see what we're working with and go from there. Cause yeah, that's not gonna cut it with this big leaf there. So what if we do, we might need to do some smaller stickers to fit things in the right way. Like this one does have a little leaf. Or, oh, let's go like this. Okay, just making some plans. And we're gonna get a little stem maybe cut off from something else. Like this stem exactly once we do it. But this we need to fit. And I see the thing I think I want. And we'll fit in one little floral there and something right there. And again, it's not the same as the other side. It's not perfect, but it does the job. There we go. And then that, I'm gonna take this, let's try this one actually. It might be too large, like too wide. But let's try it really quick because it curves the right way. Oh yeah, this'll do. Okay, just have it going like that. It kind of just goes over that a little bit. It's not perfect, but from far away, it kind of looks like it all goes together. Okay. This is so cool. Okay, I feel like right there is a tiny bit empty. So we just want like one last thing in there. And so I'm just gonna grab a small sticker that I don't mind using and just fill the gap. All right, and that was number 4 all finished up. We're moving on to yellow, you guys. All right, so yellow frame first. We're starting to get further out, so we could use slightly larger frames if we wanted to. Nothing huge, but we could use something bigger, like something like that. But again, we have to measure things out and decide what'll work. And maybe at some point, we skip some frames if it's too difficult. But I do like the windows in there. Let's see. I wish there were more ovals so we can match them up. This is a nice size one. How does it compare to that one or this one? Might be very similar sized. Ruler over here. Okay, at least similar sized on the inside, not the outside. Okay, just under 1.5. Just over 1.5, and this one's bigger though. So let's put this one down first, and we're just gonna go for it and see what happens. I don't know how it's gonna work. We've done these two. Let's put this one here. Oh, we gotta measure out as always. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on number 5, so out to here. Just have this one go right to there. And let's get some yellow icons in. We also have some frames in this book that are the exact same. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to grab these frames instead because they're the exact same. A little bit easier. Great. So let's put this one back. Where did I take it from here? All right. So yeah, these frames, I do have to cut this one out, but we can do that. And I'll put it right here. Okay, that's great. All right, champagne glass is a really easy one because it's fairly symmetrical. We'll put it like that, and we'll get a little something else right there, like a wax seal. There's a lot of gold on the yellow. That's okay. We'll get a ticket in going this way. It comes out a little past it, but that's okay. Yellow flower to bring in some more bright yellow. Let's see what else we can grab. How about a larger of the yellow flowers, because we can take up more space right here with that. Let's try to get something really nice and yellow right there, if there is anything. Okay. Have we already gone through all the pages? Or, oh, we have one more page here. Okay, how about some gold earrings? Because those are nicely shaped for the Dutch door as well. And I don't think we need to fill anything else in here. We're starting to get the place where I could put a photo in and write about it. So pretty cool. That looks great. All right, we are going to cut all of this, figure out the frame, and get to the back side. This video is proving pretty long, so we will cut it in half and do the second half tomorrow. We'll get through at least one more to finish up the yellow, and then I'll see what time it is. But this is a pretty fun one. All right. Let's cut this out as best I can. I will have to be careful lining this one up since they're so perfectly lined up, and it is not cut out on the plastic one either, so I will have to cut that out after. It's just easier to cut this part out now to make sure I line it up as perfectly as possible. You know, I just cut through and my cutting mat was not there. Let's hope that everything's okay on the next page. Otherwise, we'll have to put something down to help it out. Just a little, it didn't cut all the way through. It's just a little like crease on the page. That's good. All right, look at that. That's pretty fun. Okay, backside, that would have been a good mirror to use too. All right, let's grab the mirror first and get that in. And go from there. Okay, so lining this up as best we can. Very good. All right, and it is sticking to other stuff, but we'll cut that out. This is just such a fun thing. I love really big sets of Dutch doors, and the large notebooks really allow us to do that. So that's pretty fun. All right. Yellow flower. Again, not perfectly symmetrical, but pretty close. So we can just spin it till we find a good fit. Like that. Earrings, and again, just however it seems to fit the best. Then where's our large flower? Here we go. Right there, I think. All right. Let's cut this piece out and move on. This is looking so cool. Pick that little bit up. Okay, that looks great. Okay, here we go. Look at this. All right. Next up, yellow florals. Again, let's count it out really quick. I keep losing everything. Where's my pencil? Here it is. All right, 1, 2, 3, no, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. There we go, and pick some yellow florals, maybe in the same watercolory vibes. Though we could do something like this that is fairly symmetrical, and it's as long as the page. That is a really easy way to add to it. Let's consider that. That would be a great one. It was watercolory. It would be in the right kind of thing, but it would be going sideways. These ones are a little too bright yellow for what I want, so we're not going to do those. These are fun. And with these, it makes it a little easier. Pretty symmetrical in some of them. This is really nice too, though it wouldn't, we'd have to use these ones. This is not long enough for the side of the page. This one's, I'm having trouble deciding, guys. Not those, not the line art. Maybe daffodils, sunflowers. Okay, looking at the yellow. Let's do the sunflowers. And we might do a straight line down it and do some washi tape on it to be able to use like these ones. Okay, here we go. So we want to go out to here. So let me just set up one of these to figure out where we're going. We want to come out to here. This one isn't going to do that, so we're going to do it, this one up here. Close enough to straight. All right. We'll get it. Okay. Let's use a clip. Okay. We'll get this one straighter by just going over the edge of the sticker. I'll see a little bit beneath it, but that's okay. Okay. So the only question, if we do that, you see this through it, so that's not going to work, is it? We could put a sticker that pops through and we take out the sticker from that spot. Let's do that. Okay, we're just making exceptions to our rules. We're going to put this one down so that it covers where that is and do it like this. And that's going to be the one that's allowed to pop in. We're just making this up as we go. So we'll trim this, I think, and then have the yellow there. And I kind of don't love that I see a bit of the sticker through it. So what if we double layer the washi so it's less see-through on that side? That'll work. That fixes kind of the problem that I was having with it. Okay, and then we just need to get something here and here. And so what I want to do is something like this one here, and I'm just going to cut off that so that I can put it right up against this. And then again, something like that there, because we want it to come out at least to where this is. Yeah. That'll do, if I can cut it. There. And then right in there, let's just get some of the tiny flowers just to fill the gap. We're gonna cut this down so it's not so wide, and do that and that. Okay. So that's going to be what that looks like. That's pretty cool. Okay. I do like the use of washi tape to add that in. It's a little interesting with that popping out like that, but it solves the problem. So we'll go with it. All right, and keeping the washi tape over the edge will help us because we are going to lay down washi tape to match it in just a minute. First, we'll want to get this down and see if we can figure that out. It might be slightly differently angled than the other one. I think it's going to work pretty well. Yeah, let's do it like that. We might put a little flower in right there. That'll do. So let's get the washi tape in facing this way. And that's at an angle this time, so I wonder where our washi tape is at a slight angle here. Can we fix it ever so slightly? It'll just do. Once we cut it, we won't notice it as much. And now any stickers we put down will trim to this point so that we can keep our little washi line. But let's try this big one and see what happens. I don't know if this is gonna work or where it's gonna work. Actually, it might work right there, but it would work at an angle like that. We don't want the angle though. Okay, if we do it here, we can put a couple other things in up there. So we're doing it like this. I'm gonna trim right on the edge of the tape and try not to cut through the page. That's the hard part when you're doing this one. Luckily we have double washi tape back there. We cut a little past the washi tape, but I'm not going to worry about it. We got a little more than we wanted, but that's okay. There we go. All right. So let's figure out this and this before we fix that bit. Yeah, that works just really well. So we're gonna put it down like that. And then this one, we can use this. Again, I think I can trim this one. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, fill in this bit. We can use some of these larger little sets of flowers and just like layer them on top. It'll look fine. And then right there, a tiny little flower. Just grab, do we want the single one or the double one? I think the single one. The double one we'll put right here. Getting stuck to the sticky mat. I'm gonna put this one right here. Okay. That will do. Let's trim this and take a look at everything. All right, here we go. Let's see, what does this look like? That looks pretty cool. All right. Oh my gosh. That is so fun. All right, this video has been pretty long as we figured everything out. So let's pause here. This is it for today. Tomorrow we'll come back and build the rest of our rainbow. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow to finish out our rainbow spread. Thanks, everyone. Bye.